Okay, here we are. Finally finished the tree house. Now we're going to go up the ladder to the first floor there. And that's the first level. And then there's a ladder that goes right up there that I built, which completes it really to the trap door where we did the first video. And again, this thing is floating on those bolts that are copied after some other designs I saw on the internet for my own personal use. And they just float on those bolts. And they're supported, the head of the bolt is supported by that other bolt that goes down to the base of the tree, and then that's in a 2-inch diameter, 1.5-inch long aluminum bushing that gives a nice footing to the tree as a support. That lower one is a 3/4-inch diameter, about 4 inches long. Okay. Anyways, the whole thing floats. This side over here is basically fixed. It's on top of this one branch here. It goes up right to there, to the bottom of that beam, and then, of course, that beam there is like in a V shape. It's like in a V shape natural slot in the branch, and then that aluminum, shiny piece of aluminum right there. Bars left over from what I used for the bushings. And yep, solid. It's been floating up there, no problems, no signs of breakage or anything. But we're going to go up the ladder for a little tour. Here we go. And I got my keys. And I forgot to bring the drill. See, I left my drill over here overnight. But I made this so nobody can get up here and get into it and fall. The first level, I got this nice handrail around here that secured to the tree. And then this custom cut floor that fits around the tree and goes around. A piece of plywood that's covered with that water-based water sealer. And then the handrail, and here's a good close-up of one of the bolt brackets. Okay, and it's sitting on a piece of cutting board plastic. The bolt is actually resting on a piece of cutting board plastic, the beam is, and it just slides around on that thing with no friction hardly at all. It just moves real freely. And actually, this bolt right here, to take the head weight away, is still loose. See, once it gets enough weight on it, this will tighten up. The bolt will bend down just a little bit, but as soon as it bends down a little bit, this is going to take the load off. Okay, so it just has a safety measure, so it could take more strength. And as you can see, some of the brackets that I used, you know, to put these in, these floor joists, each one of them is screwed in with these brackets like that on both sides, on that side, and then here's the other side. This is the floating side. Real close-up of this thing. Came out really good, and it works real well. But this one tightened up some. Got a little bit of load on it. And that's what it's designed to do. As soon as this starts to get a lot of load on it, this one starts to take the weight off the head of the bolt out here, so it doesn't bend it here. Okay, and these are 1 foot long. These are 1 foot long, 1.25 inches. It's about 6 inches into the tree. Okay. So anyway, that's the design of it. And then of course I strengthened the corners with brackets and things like that. I made a trap door, and I'll get the key in it. This has a lock, so if anybody does happen to get up here, it won't be able to just get in and make a home up here like a homeless person or some kid or something is screwing around. We don't want them to climb up here, fall, and then turn around and sue us, of course. That was my wife's concern. And that's a legitimate concern. So this just bends up, flips open, and then we go up here. This is the top level. This is where things get exciting. Got a stick here, throw that out, but here we are on top. And whenever I'm up here, I try to remember always to close this, because you could actually forget and step backwards, step in a hole there. So that's nice and flush. You can walk on it, you know, real solid. This whole thing's real solid up here. Okay. And here we are up in the tree. We got a couple of places. We got a couple of plastic chairs up here. As you can see, the branches just come right up through the floor. You know, and you got a nice panoramic view. I wish this this video camera had the view of like a, what do you call it, those GoPros? It has a real wide angle view. But from up here, we're about floor 16.5 feet off the ground, but you can see the bay, San Francisco Bay Area, right through these trees here. We didn't have a bay view before, but now we do. And right in that area out there, just past that telephone pole, the one that you could see in the center, is the bay. You can actually see it. Okay? So we do have a little bit of a bay view from up here. Before we had no view at all. Zero. But anyways, kind of a nice place to kick back and read and just relax. And it's just real cool up here. Very cool, shady, breezy. As you can see, the wind is blowing pretty well. And when it blows really hard, you can actually watch the floor float on these bolts. It works really good. I mean, it's like the design and everything, I got inspired by online engineers of other treehouse builders and companies that sell stuff. And so my wife wanted me to add a couple more diagonals up here because she doesn't want to feel like she could fall out of the tree, to make her feel more comfortable. So we did that here, there, you know, so everywhere it's got a diagonal with a vent and a nice handrail. And I'm done trimming all the branches out of the way from the area that we just sit up here in. But it's really cool. You just could sit back here. There's a place to kick back right there. This spot right here is where I put my little boombox stereo, and they plug into the power and run a cord up here. You listen to music up here, kick back and relax. And as you can see, if I stay real still, you can see how much this tree moves. Just stay real still. This branch right here, this one, moves about the most. It moves quite a bit because it has a lot of wind load and weight on it. It has several branches. It branches off right here, goes up, and these branches go up to the very top of the tree, and it moves it around quite a bit. So I gave it ample room to move, and it hasn't hit one time yet. Same as with these other ones. This one moves quite a bit, and next year I'll probably prune this one a little bit more because it moves a lot. And did have one branch that broke, and it fell into the top of the tree. It was one of the highest branches, and it got stuck up there, but I ended up pulling it down with a rope. I was able to get a rope around it and then and stuff, so we got it up, taken care of. But yep, this is my tree house, and I'm hoping my sons, Mark and Kyle, come up here. We can kick back up here. I think they'll like it. And we just chill out. Look at these nice 1x12 redwoods I got from Home Depot. I picked out a bunch of them that hardly had any knots at all. Some of them don't have no knots. Really prime material. They were kind of expensive, but I figured, well, this is good material for a tree house because it resists rot and also termites and water, resist water. Okay, so the rest of it is Douglas fir. A lot of it's Douglas fir, you know, but I coated it with that Varathane oil-based stuff. Okay, and then I use these deck screws, which are really cool. Okay, and I made it so, you know, if you have to replace a board, you don't have to pull a bunch of nails. You just get a bit and a drill up here, and you can take out parts, you know, pieces, and replace them if they break or they warp or they rot or whatever, you know, so it's entirely replaceable. But all these handrails are real solid. This one moves a little bit, but it's tied into this other one here, you know, with this diagonal piece. It's also a place you could set something here, you know, makes it look convenient. You could set a drink down here or something, or whatever, you know, whatever you're doing, you know, tool if you're working up here and stuff. But it's a really nice place to kick back. My grandson that lives up here, Richard, he came up here with his friend the other day, and they were just having a good old time, just kicking back. So it's kind of nice. Kind of nice. Yep. All in all, it's all done. And so far, so good. It's holding together real well. And leave comments on the video and tell me how you like it and what do you think. And if you have any questions, more than happy to answer them. All right. This is Mark checking out. Talk to you later.